and here in Bobby. Okay, I appreciate it. We don't Gill Street. Okay, thank you, man.
They do that. Yeah, they do that.
And Norma, if you'll let Mike Sawyer know that's when it's being reset for. Thank you. And Norma, do you think the bench warrant from Kruger will be completed? Because we've been waiting on him to be bench warranted since January. Okay. All right, who's here on Cody Salazar?
Present judge, but we're waiting for him to be brought out.
All right, thank you. David Mendoza?
Same judge.
All right, thank you. All right, and that one's done. Yeah. Okay, thank you. Janet Silva? All right. All right. So let me, all right, for Kruger, that we've done, he's been sentenced, but we're just trying to do restitution, correct? All right, so I should have a TIC on one of these cases then, and I haven't, let me see which one it's supposed to be. It is 2023-10-268. Why have these? Why do I still have these if he's been, if these were taken in consideration? And the 10-268? Yeah, it's 2023 CR 10-268. All right. Well, if y'all could take these, then I shouldn't receive them. All right, it's these two, yeah. Or no, all right, thank you. And then Norma, with this, has she been accepted into the mental health court? Silva?
No.
Yeah, but they're saying, but on this, it says that she's being screened for their mental health program, the PTD program. That's what it says on this email. Just note that you gave me. Right. Ah, okay. All right. Thank you. All right. So based upon what she's charged with, I need a reset date for 90 days. And has she already been transferred? Okay. Is that Michael Valeria?
Okay, so I'm Mr. Patterson, sadly, it's still taking a hold of this. Yes, so. Yes, absolutely. Just waiting. Oh, Judge.
He's on here already.
Judge.
All right.
We gotta get around.
All right, Norma, here's this.
See that?
Cody Salazar.
All right, it's there. Rodney Patterson.
Yes, Judge. Waiting on him.
All right, Mr. Patterson, if you'll come down. All right, so we're supposed to be here today for disposition.
That's correct, Judge. I mean, we have the workings of the plea in place, but I'll let the state take it from here.
Yes, Your Honor, there was a offer made and then a counter offer made, and when the counter offer was made, we tried to get it over. So she hasn't given us a call back yet, so we haven't discussed that. So we would just ask for a little bit more time.
All right, it's coming back on March 3rd. This is the last setting for this. After that, it's going to be a jury trial or bench trial, whichever you choose.
Yes, ma'am. Yes,
Right.
Judge. Thank you. May we be excused?
Yes,
Thank you. Thank you, Ms. Boyd.
you're welcome.
Thank you.
Not yet.
Not yet. Haven't seen this first.
Norma Patterson is coming back on March 3rd.
Salazar, Cody? John Gill?
Cody Salazar. All right. All right, so yes, where are we on this case?
Your Honor, last time we were here, the state had to order CPS records. We did order those and we did receive them and turn them over to defense today. I think they are very voluminous, over 2,000 pages. And so if I'm correct, both defense and I would like some time to review those.
All right, well, what I can tell you, my experience with CPS cases, of those 2,000 pages, the originals are probably about 150 because it just repeats everything over and over. So for example, on the CPS side, if a part of the CBS,
Take your phone outside, please.
if a part of the CPS case, if it were to say it rained on Tuesday, then their next setting, let's say the setting is on a Thursday. You know what Thursday's documentation will include? It rained on Tuesday. And then if there's nothing new, there's nothing new. Then it'll go to the next notation. And then that next notation, that notation can be 3 years from now. You know what it's going to say? It rained on Tuesday. So out of the 2,000 pages, probably 150 of them are originals. Everything else is just duplicates. So with that being said, I'm going to recall this for the week of March 17th. State, you need to be prepared to tender an offer.
Yes, sir.
All right, what date, Ms. Ferguson? All right, so March 18th.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you. And you're still in custody? Nobody's made bond for you?
We're working on it, Judge.
All right. All right, thank you.
Thank you.
I would think where you were at. And there's a activity
Okay,
I could approach on him.
just 1 second. Just one moment. It's not in my contacts, so I can't save. So just 1 second, council. What page is Cody Salazar on? One. Right underneath my nose. David Mendoza?
Yes, Judge.
Yes.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning.
This is a second setting on Mr. Mendoza. I'd hoped to speak with him.
Mhm.
However, I have been informed that he is in custody now. Not on this case, but there's a parole hold.
Okay,
I conferred with the state. They did tender an offer today.
okay.
I need to speak with Mr. Mendoza about it, and I have the contact information for his parole officer.
Mhm.
So I need to chat with her on how this may affect that as well. And hopefully by the next setting, we can have something worked out.
All right. This has been going on
So
since,
second time in court on him.
I know, well, in July, I guess he had no attorney, so Mac was contacted. So I'm recalling it for March 18th.
Perfect. It's two on that same day. I will be here.
March 18th, and that's a plea deadline date.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome. Have a good one.
Thank you.
And Deputy Laura, why wasn't he brought?
He was blocked.
But, okay, okay, yes. Oh, that's okay. But Mendoza is going to be 318. And then on Silva, do you have a 90-day date for her?
Salazar, Cody, Robie Patterson.
Uh, Yes. Oh, and you were checking to see if she had been transported to inpatient treatment yet? All right.
I don't want to move. Yeah,
Second row, second chair on top. Move over.
sorry about that. I mean,
right, could I see the file on, let's see. Janet Silva, please.
Last bench. Then just go ahead and stay there, ma'am.
Hi, Miss Silva. Could I see the file on her, please? And I'm sorry, Norma, you said May when?
29.
Okay. Norma, I'm sorry. Her attorney's not here. Can we put that for April 29th and just do it as a phantom date? Miss Silva? Yes. How are you doing today?
Get better.
Better?
Yeah.
Okay. So they told me you had seen a doctor, so what we're gonna do, because I want to make sure the doctor says it is all right if we proceed with your case. So I'm gonna call you back in April, okay?
Mhm.
Now, and it's gonna be April 29th, so that's a Tuesday. If your doctor says that we can see you before then we'll see you before then. And so far what I have from the doctors that we're not supposed to see you just now because they want to make sure that you have all the right medications.
Okay.
All right. Do you have any questions about anything?
No, so I'm still waiting to go to Spanish.
Yes, but if
Is
you,
there a way I can get out of it and get my own apartment and get my life together?
let me just tell you, you'll need to talk to your attorney about that. And then, well, we're going to make sure they come here. Miss Ferguson? Who is her attorney is? All right, can you tell Mr. Pettis he's needed back here? All right, so we're going to make sure that you meet with your attorney today, all right?
Okay.
All right, thank you. Oh, thank you. Who? Ricardo Garza. No, I don't have Garza. I have a Shelby Rodriguez up here though. All right, thank you. All right, thank you. And yeah, this is Silva. Thank you. John Gill. Who's the attorney for John Paul Raymond Gill?
The guy saying right now, I think it will be a plea.
All right, thank you. So yeah, that one's gonna be a full. You're welcome.
Dela Cruz.
Yes. Sure, come down.
Is it a correct position? Or that's
Um,
correct?
No, so
Yeah.
the way the legal system works, if a doctor gives us a report and says that we can't go forward on your case, for whatever reason it may be, then we're not legally allowed to continue. So if they're saying that you're not on your right medications, that they need you on your right medications, then legally we're not able to go forward. And the reason why that is done is to make sure that you know everything that's going on and that you understand everything, that you understand what you're charged with, that you understand the consequences if you were to enter a plea. What I can tell you is the last time we were here, your attorney did enter plea paperwork, but then after questioning you, we thought it was best that you see a doctor to make sure that you understood the charges against you and the consequences of them. Now, what I can tell you is sometimes what will end up happening
Mhm.
is before people are sent to SASH, it's determined that they're competent and that they can help in their case. So if for any reason it's determined that you're currently competent, then what will end up happening is another doctor will have to see you and they'll have to say, yes, we believe she's competent. And then if your attorney and the state's attorney accept their findings, which normally they do,
Mhm.
then you'll be brought back here.
Okay,
You're
thank you.
welcome. No, we're waiting for her attorney. Who's here on Rita Dela Cruz? All right, tell people to stop stepping out when they turn in paperwork. Am I asking for too much out of life to tell people when they turn in their paperwork not to step out? No, that's fine. He'll come in when he comes in. Rita Dela Cruz. And probation, this is an application. Court is calling 2024 CR 010009, State versus Rita Dela Cruz. Can I have parties announced for the record? State.
Jason Garrett, Your Honor.
David McLean for the defense.
And are you Miss Dela Cruz? You're gonna have to make sure you speak up so everyone can hear.
Sorry.
Are you Miss Dela Cruz?
Yes.
Counsel, have you received all discovery? Did you review it with your client?
I have, Your Honor.
Court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. Ms. Dela Cruz, did you review the application for deferred adjudication or community supervision with your attorney?
Yes.
Did you understand it and sign it?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you review the true bill of indictment with your attorney?
Yes.
Did you understand it?
Yes.
Counsel, do you waive the reading of the indictment?
I do, Your Honor.
State, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented?
Count two, proceeding on count one alone.
No objection, Judge.
All right, Ms. Dela Cruz, did you review the court admonishments with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it in all the appropriate places? Did you understand in count one, you're charged with tampering or fabricating physical evidence with intent to impair as a third-degree felony? Range of punishment is anywhere from 2 to 10 years in prison and up to a $10,000 fine. Did you understand?
Yes.
If you have a plea bargain agreement with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea. If for any reason the court does not follow your plea and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand?
Yes.
You have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state will call, and the right to remain silent. Did you understand by entering this plea, you were giving up those rights?
Yes.
And did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea in this case? Did you understand that the court were to grant your application for deferred adjudication? If for any reason your deferred adjudication were revoked, the court could find you guilty and sentence you up to 10 years in prison and up to a $10,000 fine.
Yes.
Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you believe she has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against her?
I do, Your Honor.
Do you believe she's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
I do, Your Honor.
Ms. Dela Cruz, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter this plea?
No.
Anyone promised you anything other than the plea?
No.
Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented? Are you a U.S. citizen? Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived her right to jury trial. Did you review the plea bargain page with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes.
According to the plea, the state is proceeding on count 1 and they're recommending deferred adjudication. Did you understand that to be the plea? Defense, is that the plea?
It is, Judge.
State, is that the plea?
Yes.
Did you review the waiver of appeal paragraph with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it in both places? Did you understand by signing that you're waiving your right to appeal? The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand? Counsel, are there any such motions?
There have none.
Outside the agreement, the state is recommending that your community supervision be for a term of 4 years. There be a TAP evaluation and 200 hours of community service restitution. Did you understand those were recommendations from the state and the court does not have to follow those recommendations?
Yes.
Then to the offense as charged, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
Guilty.
State any evidence.
Your Honor, review that with my client. We have no objection.
All right, state, you may be excused. Did you review the waiver with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes.
Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state will call, and the right to remain silent?
Yes.
Did you understand that today the state will be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports, but most importantly, there will be no live testimony? Did you understand?
Yes.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Court will accept into evidence states exhibits 1 and attachments, and the court will review the same. After reviewing states exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty. And the court will defer finding of guilt as you've applied for deferred adjudication. Are we proceeding with sentencing?
Yes, Your Honor, we waive PSI.
All right, anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
Your Honor, I've spoken with Ms. Dela Cruz about this. She's wearing a mask today. She just got done with pneumonia and some pretty severe bronchitis. My main concern placing her on deferred adjudication in this case was the fact that we were talking about methamphetamine in this case, as the court's just reviewed. I've talked with her about how addictive that is. She has assured me that she is going to seek the proper help. This latest health scare has really gotten her attention. I think she can be successful on this, and we'd ask the court to follow our plea bargain.
All right, so question, in the police report, it said that she had a warrant for an attempted possession. Is there an active open case in here in Bear County? Was that out of Bear County? All right, state. In the police report, it says that she had an active warrant for an attempted drug case. And at first I thought maybe it was the same one that's in the indictment, but now I'm not sure after reading through the rest of the police report. And she says it was here in Bear County, so I don't know what has happened with that case.
I have no clue, Judge. I'd have to call my investigator to look that up. If you'd like us to just step back.
Yes, if you could look that up,
Okay, good.
just in case.
Thank you, Judge.
All right, if you'll just have
I
a
thought it was
seat.
the same case too.
No problem, no problem. So if y'all can step up and I'll step back and I'll take that up after we discover about that.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Norma,
Yes, ma'am.
what date did you want this recalled on? It's set for sentencing. Well, it actually set for trial on March 10th.
We can do.
You want to just call it back for? Let's just set it for March 17th and then we can talk to attorneys. And I'll give you the file. All right, we'll just put everything on the 17th. All right, thank you. Thank you. Bashan. This cause number 24-010-525. That's one that's scheduled for a PSI and it's going to be recalled for March 17th. It is Ramirez, Aaron Ramirez.
Those are the keys actually. Okay, Judge, thank you.
All right, you're welcome. And Rashawn, the other one is Kelly Cottner,
Yes, ma'am.
317. Oh, all right.
I think they're total.
Yes. Who's here for Shelby Rodriguez? All right. Just 1 second.
She's here early. I know who she is.
And then, so, you know, I know last time we were discussing that.
Shelby Rodriguez, if you could unmute, please. And start your video. All right, we're waiting for her to unmute. All right, so today is plea deadline date.
Yes, Your Honor. We weren't able to work this out via the judge. We're gonna need a trial setting.
All right, and is this criminal trial division?
Family violence, Your Honor.
All right, family violence. How long do you expect this trial to last?
2 days. 2 days. 2 to 3 days, Judge.
All right, Norma, I need a trial date for Ms. Rodriguez, and it's 2 days. Family violence.
I think May 13th.
May 13th.
That'll work, Your Honor.
Craig Kantu?
All right, your jury trial date is going to be May 13th, and you need to be in court at 9 a.m. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. And thank you for dressing appropriately for court.
Thank you.
You're
Shelby.
welcome.
Is she excused, Judge?
Yes, she's excused.
Thanks, Judge.
You're welcome.
9 settings today. I don't want to do that again. Including an NGRI capital murder.
Uh,
You get the name out.
oh,
Please show. It's kind of in the girl's head. I just need help to put it back together.
no, no.
Horrific.
All right, we'll see you back then. Make sure that you have an acknowledgement of discovery done.
I think we did one last time.
Okay.
We'll get it done.
All right, thank you.
Thanks, Sharon. Hey, why are you here? What is this? Did you settle? That's right.
Oh, are you already on David McLean's case, or you all still looking?
I think I have it, but,
Okay.
it was out of this court, I believe,
Okay.
and I just can't confirm if it was that one or not, but I mean, it looks like it's the same one, and it's been resolved out of this court.
Okay, so it's been resolved?
Judge, from my perspective, I could probe my client about it. She said that it was a warrant for an MTR out of this court
Mhm.
that's actually been adjudicated and she was sentenced.
It was a possession of some gram that was reduced to an attempted, which is a class A, obviously, and then, she had a warrant for it, and it looks like it's closed out on Odyssey. I
Okay.
did send it to my investigator to cut it down, but
Mhm.
she doesn't have anything else pending in Odyssey in our county.
Okay. All right.
And then, oh, you know what, I still have that.
Okay.
Attempted possession.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's what it says. in-
Clause number 12245.
Yes.
45 was a revocation.
All right.
It was, in
And that
there,
was
and that's what it's listed as.
All right. Thank you. Thank you. All right, Miss Dela Cruz, if you come forward, please. And we're back on the record in 2024 CR 010009. All right, Ms. Dela Cruz, if you were drug tested today, what would the results be? All right, when's the last time you used?
Um,
And the thing is, just be honest with me because I'm trying to give you conditions to help you. And so far, because you're not on currently on probation, what you're telling me is not a violation of your probation.
Maybe about, well, I didn't use methamphetamine. I was using marijuana.
Okay.
That's, it was about 2 weeks ago. I wanna say.
All right, so I can tell you marijuana and bronchitis doesn't mix.
I haven't been, I haven't been using anymore.
So that's a problem. Do you have any children?
Yes, ma'am, I have 3.
What are their ages?
That's my oldest just turned 16. No, he's about to be 17. My youngest just turned 11, and then my daughter is 14.
All right, and do they live with you?
Yes.
This is not good. You understand? And then why were you at the park after hours?
Because what happened was, me and my kids had went to the park for a short period of time. And, when we got back home, my son realized he didn't have his phone on him. So we went back to go look for it. And, that was I didn't realize the time that it was already close to 11:30 and the park closed at 11.
And see, Vashawn, that goes back to what I said. Nothing good happens after 10.
This is true.
See, thank you. Thank you for agreeing with me on that. All right. This is what the court will do.
Forgive me, ma'am, for it's my, the bronchitis and that it just gives me hard at breathing and stuff. They gave me an inhaler and everything, so forgive me if I'm not at my best.
No problem. I understand. So the court is going to sentence you to 4 years deferred adjudication. Regular reporting by Zoom or in person. Regular random UAs. TAP evaluation out of custody. Follow recommendations. Proof of employment within 30 days. No employment as a home health care provider or with minors. Field visits 1 time per month for 8 months. There's to be 200 hours of community service restitution. I'm going to order parenting classes. Once parenting classes are complete, I'll deduct 100 hours of the community service restitution. How far did you go in school?
I was a 3-year graduate. I graduated as a junior.
All right, so what are you planning on doing with your rest of your life?
Well, after high school, I actually went to medical school and I was a medical assistant for a short period of time. And then I kind of lost track on that. So that's what I was hoping to go back to. But I can't now.
No, not while you're on probation. All right. There is going to be, I mean, if you enter into some type of trade school and obtain a certificate, then the court will subtract the remaining 100 hours of community service restitution. There's going to be 90 sober meetings in 90 days. Probation, is there anything else? Is there anything else you need from the court in order to be successful?
No.
Did you review the document entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it? Because this is plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waived your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Do you understand?
Yes.
All right, we can go off the record. So where did you get off track in your life? I mean, you're telling me you graduated early as a junior, so where did life take a left turn for you?
I think it was probably when I was pregnant with my daughter
Mm-hmm.
that my OB prescribed me narcotics and I didn't know how highly addictive they were. So that was my introduction to the drug world.
Mm-hmm. All right, so here's the thing. Your attorney will tell you that in this court, to be successful, communication is key. I want you to be clean and sober. I want you to be a good example for your children. You still can be a good example for your children. But If you don't communicate with us and if you don't try, there's nothing we can do for you.
Yes,
If
ma'am.
there's an issue, let probation know. If you feel they're not addressing it, then you can come back to the court. If you think you're going to use drugs, pick up the phone and call probation. And I will tell you, when I was a defense attorney, sometimes you knew there were certain judges, do not call that phone and tell them you're thinking about using. But your attorney will tell you in this court, if you're thinking about using, the best thing you can do is pick up the phone and call your probation officer. And if you can't get in touch with them, if it's during business hours, the best thing you can do is come into this court and say, I'm thinking about using. And if you just want to sit in this court, because that can help you get through not using for the day, you're more than welcome. We're here. We'll let you sit.
Yes,
You
ma'am.
understand?
Thank you very much.
All right. Good luck to you. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you, Judge.
Thank you.
Good seeing you as always.
You too. Have a good one.
You too.
You're welcome. All right. Who's here on Folsom? All righty. Where's Mr. Folsom? All right. Good afternoon, Mr. Folsom.
Afternoon, good.
All right. So where are we on this case?
With regard to discovery, Judge, I was notified by the state, and I also did see an e-discovery that as of February 19th, the blood discovery records were uploaded. So I was notified of that. I need to look into that, Judge, but other than that, I believe discovery to be intact.
Okay. And state, were you able to tender an offer?
Yes.
All right, then I'm gonna put this plea deadline date. We can do the week of March 17th or the week of March 24th.
The week of March 24th, please, Your Honor.
All right, Ms. Ferguson, I need a plea deadline date for the week of March 24th. All right, it will be March 24th, and if you'll make sure the acknowledgement of discovery is signed before you leave.
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you have any questions? All right, thank you. We'll see you back then.
Your Honor.
Hello? Oh, thank you. Sorry. Teresa Farias,
Yes, yes, Your Honor.
Frias, okay. See, sometimes I add more syllables than need.
You're overthinking it, right?
All right, was the state able to tender an offer?
They tendered an offer today, Your Honor. My client would like to consider it and also go over some additional evidentiary concerns with me before.
All right, Norma, if you can put this as a plea deadline date on March 24th. All right, thank you. You have any questions? All right, thank you. Thank you for addressing appropriately for court.
Thank you, Your
All
Honor.
right, thank you.
Oh, yeah. There's groups and help with them. Waiver of Gill, Peras.
I didn't know where they were at, and I knew some of the courts were doing.
We'll see on Marco Marino. Hello. Hi. Yes. Okay. So are you retained?
Yeah, but it is substantially reduced.
All right. So what will need to happen, your client will need to be present so I can
Question.
question them about ability to pay.
Okay.
All right. So whenever you want to do it.
But if you want testimony,
Yes.
that will be on the third. We have our next hearing.
Okay. All right. Sure. Just let me know when.
Okay.
All right,
Thank you.
Norman, they're gonna have a hearing on that with just me and the attorney. Yes, if you want to do it March the 3rd, but since it's ex parte, if you want, if you are in, if you're here, we can take it up probably at, your client is on bond? We can do it at, we can do it before we start docket, but you need to be here before 9. All right. If you'll speak with Deputy Laura and see if they're able, are you able to bring him out exactly at 9? Her client. No, not, if you can bring him out at 9, I'll take him up before I open the courtroom. Hmm? Okay. Sure. All right, Ricardo Garcia. Who's the attorney for Ricardo Garcia? Oh, okay. Who is here for Craig Kantu? Thank you. Yes.
I'll be doing this in place of Monica Guerrero.
Okay.
You need a PSI.
Good afternoon. What's a PSI date, Ms. Ferguson? Let me see.
Yes.
All right, so let me ask you, do you want the April 17th date, or do you want to just bring him back in a couple of weeks and you can, present to the court whatever witnesses you would like to present?
We may actually have trouble trying to get one person. So
You want them to appear by Zoom?
I did explain that to him.
Mhm.
We need to make contact. I would take April 17th. Are you okay with April 17th? Absolutely.
All right, well, that will be your PSI date then. All right, court is calling 2024 CR 011-675 State versus Craig Kantu. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state? Defense?
Joseph Stateson standing in for Monica Guerrero. Will you give this judge permission for me to do this in place of Ms. Guerrero? Yes. Thank you.
All right, counsel, have you received all discovery? Did you review it with your client?
Yes, Your Honor.
Court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. Mr. Kantu, did you review the document entitled Application for Deferred Adjudication with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you review the true bill of indictment with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, Your Honor.
State, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented?
The repeater offender enhancement.
Any objection?
None.
Did you review the court admonishments with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, Your Honor.
You're charged with assault, family, household, impeding breath or circulation, which is assault, family choking. That's a third-degree felony. Range of punishment is anywhere from 2 to 10 years in prison and up to a $10,000 fine. If you have a plea bargaining agreement with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea. If for any reason the court does not follow your plea and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you, and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
You have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state will call, and the right to remain silent. Did you understand by entering this plea, you were giving up those rights?
Yes, Your Honor.
And did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea in this case?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand if the court were to grant your application for deferred adjudication, if for any reason the court were to revoke your community supervision, the court could sentence you up to 10 years in prison and up to a $10,000 fine?
Yes, Your Honor.
Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses?
He has, Your Honor.
Do you believe he has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against him?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you believe he's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Kantu, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter this plea? Anyone promised you anything other than the plea?
No, Your Honor.
Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented?
Yes, Your Honor.
Are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes, Your Honor.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived his right to jury trial. Did you review the plea bargain page with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, Your Honor.
According to the plea, the state is asking that your punishment be assessed at a cap of 6 years in the prison. There's a $1,500 fine. There are no applications. The state will take in consideration AL 2178722. There's an affirmative finding of family violence, and there's to be no contact with the complainant. Did you understand with an affirmative finding of family violence, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand with an affirmative finding of family violence, you're not allowed to be designated as primary custodial parent?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand that to be the entirety of your plea?
Your Honor, I believe you said there's no application. There is an application.
Oh, I'm sorry. The state is opposed to your applications. Did you understand that to be the plea?
Yes, Your Honor.
Defense, is that the plea?
Yes, Your Honor.
State, is that the plea?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you review the waiver of appeal paragraph with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it in both places?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand by signing that you're waiving your right to appeal? The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Counsel, have there been any such motions?
No, Your Honor.
Then to the offenses charged, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
No contest, Your Honor.
State any evidence.
Our state offers evidence states exhibit 1 with that.
No objection, Your Honor.
All right, and state, have you spoken with the complainant?
We've attempted, Your Honor, we haven't had any of us getting hold of it.
All right, did you review the waiver and consent to stipulations of testimony and stipulations with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it in all the appropriate places? All right, state, you may be excused. Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call, and the right to remain silent?
Sure.
Did you understand that?
Yes.
Did you understand that the state will be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports, but most importantly, there will be no live testimony? Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Court will accept into evidence states exhibits 1 and attachments, and the court will review the same. All right, after reviewing states exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty. The court will defer finding of guilt as you've applied for deferred adjudication. This will be set for sentencing on April 17th at 9 a.m. Counsel, are you requesting a TAP evaluation?
We would ask for a TAP evaluation, and just like the court's aware, he's obtaining certificates. He plans on obtaining some more class certificates. He brings them to court. I made copies. I provided them to the state, but for the PSI, will make copies for the courts for you to look at.
All right. All right, we'll see you back then. TAP and PSI, yes.
Thank you, Judge.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome.
Yeah, nice afternoon.
You too. And I'm gonna take a 5-minute break. I need to review something. Ricardo Garcia. Thank you. Sorry about that.
Sorry about what?
Oh, I need to take a break to handle
Well-
something in the back.
Sometimes we need to take breaks.
All right, court is calling 2024 CR 008-406. State versus Ricardo Garcia. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state? Defense.
Brent Hardy for the defendant.
And are you Mr. Garcia? All right, are there any applications in this case? Okay. Counsel, have you,
They're not, Judge, I'm sorry.
no problem. Counsel, have you received all of the discovery?
Yes, Judge.
And did you review it with your client?
I did, Your Honor.
Court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. Mr. Garcia, did you review the document entitled True Bill of Indictment with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Judge.
Counsel, do you waive the reading of the indictment?
Yes, Judge.
State, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented?
Your Honor, we'll wait for count 2 and the answer paragraph, proceed on count 1 alone.
Oh, Judge.
All right. Did you review the court admonishments with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it in all the appropriate places? Did you understand you're charged with evading arrest, detention of a vehicle? That's a state jail. I'm sorry, just 1 second. I'm distracted. Could you do me it's probably best if you just do a whiteout for that, counsel, so they won't be confused about if he's a citizen or not.
Okay. Judge.
Your Honor.
No problem.
Should say 3rd degree.
No, it's a 3rd degree. I was sidetracked because I was, no, there's no wrong paperwork. I'll just pull the cap off.
Oh,
Huh.
I've never used this.
That's
before.
okay.
I'm embarrassed. so.
No problem. I was just distracted because I saw that and then this. Oh, but Brent, you're talking to somebody who started out with the typewriter eraser. And then after that, we thought we were doing big things because then they came out with liquid paper. Who my understanding, one of the monkeys, their mother or somebody invented liquid paper. Mhm.
You
I think
know,
it was the one who wore the cap. It could be him.
I heard it was Norm's mother from Cheers.
No, I
No?
don't think it wasn't. I don't think it was.
I just don't know.
We're gonna have to look that up and see who's right.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah. But that's what I heard. But you know what? We're gonna find that answer before I leave, okay?
Not a problem.
All right. So did you understand you're charged with evading or arrest with a vehicle? That's a 3rd degree felony. The range of punishment is anywhere from 2 to 10 years in prison and up to a $10,000 fine. Did you understand? Did you understand by entering this plea, you're giving up your right for a jury trial, the right to remain silent? Right. And did you intend to give up your rights to a jury trial, the right to remain silent, and the right to cross-examine witnesses by entering into this plea? Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses? Counsel,
Yes.
yeah.
Yes, sir.
All right, off the record. See, this is why I got distracted. I had to know, right?
And I don't
And-
have a signal. I-
No, let me just tell you, it's the guy from the monkeys, Nesmith. His mother is the one who invented liquid paper.
You sure?
100%.
Okay.
So she invented liquid paper.
Well, the guy from Cheers came up with Norm came up with the buffalo theory regarding it's very.
All right, you know what? You're
Yeah,
fine. We're
I'm
gonna get
sorry,
back to
Judge.
that.
Yeah.
But Sean, in the words of Kendrick Lamar, we're gonna get back to that for the record. Just a moment. All right, so we are back on the record. Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses?
He has, Judge.
Do you believe he has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against him?
I believe so,
Do
Judge.
you believe he's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Garcia, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter this plea?
Yep,
Somebody's forced you to enter this plea?
no, but they gonna put fear in me.
Oh, was the fear of what, going to trial?
Yeah.
All right, sometimes trial can be very fearful, but what I'm trying to decide is whether or not you're entering this freely and voluntarily. So if you want a jury trial, you know, this is the 187th, I'll give you a jury trial. So do you want a jury trial? You need to answer.
No.
All right. So has anyone threatened you or coerced you or placed you in fear to get you to enter this plea? Has anyone promised you anything other than the plea? Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented?
Yes.
Are you satisfied? Okay, do you need to sit back and talk to your attorney?
No, I want to finish. I want to get done with this.
All right, so are you satisfied with the way you've been represented? Yes or no?
Yes, Your Honor.
Are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, court will find that the defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived his right to jury trial. Did you review the plea bargain page with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, according to the plea, punishment is to be assessed at a cap of 6 years in the prison, and there are no applications. Did you understand that to be the plea?
Yes, Your Honor.
Defense, is that the plea?
It is, Your Honor.
State, is that the plea?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you review the waiver of appeal paragraph with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it in both places?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand by signing that you're waiving your right to appeal? The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Counsel, are there any such motions?
No, Your Honor.
Then to count one, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
Conscience.
State any evidence.
Yes, Your Honor. State exhibit number 1 with all this attachment.
No objection.
All right, did you review the waiver and consent to stipulation of testimony and stipulations with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it in both places? And state you may be excused. Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial, right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state will call in the right to remain silent? Did you understand that today the state will be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports? But most importantly, there'll be no live testimony. Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Court will accept into evidence states exhibits 1 and attachments and review the same. All right, after reviewing states exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there's sufficient evidence to find you guilty, and the court will find you guilty. Are you proceeding with sentencing, or do you wish for a reset for PSI or a reset for you to have witnesses to come on your client's behalf?
We'll waive PSI, Judge.
All right, do you wish to proceed with sentencing?
Please. Yes.
All right, state,
Yes, Your Honor.
defense said they're proceeding with sentencing. And do you wish to proceed with sentencing today, Mr. Garcia?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, state you're at a cap of 6,
Yes, Your Honor.
and what are you requesting?
Okay. Requesting 6, Your Honor. If you'd like argument right now, I can give it to you.
Yes.
Your Honor, this individual does have 2 previous convictions where he did time sex offense corrections, so we believe that he would willfully waive that, and 6 years is substantially lower than the 25 minimum that would have been.
All right, defense.
Judge, I have nothing to say other than that I think 6 years is a fairly.
Here. All right, so Mr. Garcia, what I can tell you is you are lucky that this is the offer because 1, you do have priors, you have been to prison before. And from reading the police report, you've read that, right?
Yeah.
Do you understand everything that you did?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, you could have been, well, you did endanger other lives when you get into these high-speed chases and crossing across medians. All right, the court is going to find you guilty, sentence you to 6 years in the prison, give you credit for any time served. Did you review the document entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal with your attorney?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand it and sign it? All right, because this is a plea bargaining agreement, because I followed your plea bargaining agreement, and because you waived your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Because this is a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question over what a weapon or ammunition is, you need to speak to an attorney. All right, we can go off the record. Well, good luck to you. And I tell you, your tattoos, if they were on Ink Master, they'll say that the shading is good.
Thank you.
You know, the dark shading. They do a lot of black ink tattoos on Ink Masters. So what did you want to tell me about the Buffalo thing?
Buffalo theory of alcohol. This is according to Norm, who knows everything.
Norm from Cheers, yes.
You know how buffaloes, a herd of buffalo gets hunted by wolves. And the wolves only catch the weakest, slowest buffalo, thereby making the herd as a whole substantially faster. Likewise, alcohol kills brain cells, but alcohol only kills the weakest and slowest brain cells. That is why you feel smarter after a six-pack. That's
Oh.
the buffalo theory.
Okay, and I called myself had watched Cheers. I'm gonna have to look for that episode.
How do you know?
Now I know. Only from Norm. All right, court is calling 2024 CR 012909 State versus John Paul Raymond Gill. Scott. Could our parties announce for the record for the state? Defense? And are you Mr. Gill?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, have you received all the discovery that you review that with your client?
Yes, I did.
Court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. Mr. Gill, did you review? Let me try to find it here. The true bill of indictment with your attorney, did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, do you waive the reading of the indictment?
Yes, ma'am.
State, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented? Mr. Gill, did you review the court admonishments with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, ma'am.
Again, just one second. I don't know why. It seems like now I'm checking to make sure everybody does the, the citizen part correctly. All right. Counsel, here you are.
Nope. I thought I already.
No.
Thank you.
All right. You reviewed the admonishments. Did you understand that what you're charged with is unauthorized use of a vehicle? That's a state jail felony. Range of punishment is anywhere from 180 days, 2 years in the state jail facility, and up to $10,000 fine. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
If you have a plea bargain agreement with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea. If for any reason the court does not follow your plea and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you, and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call, and the right to remain silent? Did you understand by entering this plea, you were giving up those rights?
Yes, ma'am.
And did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea in this case? Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses?
Yes, he has.
All right, off the record for a moment. Norma, did we complete Frederico Nelson with Brent Hardy? All right, could you make sure he doesn't leave? Oh, no, Mr. Hardy. I don't know.
Your Honor, he does know that we're filling out paperwork for him right now.
Oh, okay. All right, we're back on the record. Just 1 second. All right, counsel, do you believe your client has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against him?
Yes, he does.
Do you believe he's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
Yes, I do.
Mr. Gill, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter this plea?
No.
Anyone promised you anything other than the plea? Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented?
Yes.
Are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived his right to jury trial. Did you review the plea bargain page with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
According to the plea, punishment is to be assessed at 180 days in the Bexar County Jail under 1244, and there are no applications. Did you understand that to be the plea? I'm telling you, what is going on with the day? Next I'm going to say, Sean, 365 years or something. All right. Well, we're going to pitch in like I was trying to make sure that you knew what's going on. So let me, the glasses are not for reading. So 160 days in the Bexar County Jail under 1244, and there are no applications. Did you understand that to be the plea?
Yes, ma'am.
Defense, is that the plea?
Yes, it is.
State, is that the plea? Did you review the waiver of appeal paragraph with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you sign it in both places?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand by signing that you're waiving your right to appeal? The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, are there any such motions?
No.
Then to the offense as charged, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
No contest.
State any evidence. Any objection?
No objection.
All right, state, you may be excused. Did you review the waiver and consent with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, ma'am.
Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call and the right to remain silent? Did you understand that today the state will be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports, but most importantly, there will be no live testimony? Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Court will accept into evidence states exhibits 1 and attachments and review the same. All right, after reviewing states exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty, and the court will find you guilty. Are you proceeding with sentencing?
Yes.
Anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
No, Your Honor.
All right, court will find you guilty. The court will sentence you to 160 days in the Bexar County Jail under 1244. Give you credit for any time served. And there's to be no contact with Victoria Love Sanchez Aguirre. Is there anything else with regards to sentencing?
Yes, we would ask for judgment satisfied, Your Honor.
All right, does he have the time in custody? All right. Then the court will show the judgment is satisfied. Did you review the document entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it? All right, because this is plea bargaining agreement, because I followed your plea bargaining agreement, because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Because this is a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question of what a weapon or ammunition is, you'll need to speak to an attorney. Do you understand? All right, we can go up. How old are you?
35.
All right, let me explain this something to you, and this is based upon not my experience on going to prison, but people I've represented on parole who were in prison. Do you like your hair?
Yes, I'm very good.
Let me just tell you something. When you go to prison, you know what they do?
Yeah,
So if you want to lose your hair, you will continue. If that's something you truly care about, as opposed to asking questions when you're driving a stolen vehicle, then you keep on the same path you're going on. What's going to end up happening when they send you to prison, they cut your hair off. That's why you see people who are in prison, all their hair is cut off because that's what they do.
yes,
You understand?
very much.
And then the other thing, my understanding at the Bexar County Jail, they have lice as well. So
Plenty.
if you get lice in the hair, I think they're going to want to buzz it as opposed to doing every treatment. You understand? All right, good luck to you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Yes.
It's on the motion to suppress the sector tomorrow.
Okay. All right. Could you pull the file on Paul Smith for me, please, from the back? It's 2021 CR 8325. There you go. Thank you. All right, and Norma, who's the attorney for Miss Silva? All right, thank you.
Yeah, Madam Clerk.
Yes,
And I? No, it's about him. Oh, well.
yes.
Veronica Love,
Mm-hmm.
Victoria Love. She's in the unauthorized use of a motor vehicle. It wasn't Miss Love's car. There's another lady's name.
Oh, I know. Was she in the vehicle with
You
him?
were in the vehicle. Okay.
All right, let me just tell you, is this about having no contact?
No, they're together right now. They're.
No, I mean, is this about me issuing a no contact order?
On her, with respect to my client, on her.
Yeah, there's a reason for that. And let
Okay.
me tell you what the reason for that is. And so you can understand why that is. So let me go to the police report. Because sometimes, I read everything that's put before me. All right, so synopsis, first paragraph. You get pulled over, you're the driver of the vehicle, and she is S2. And it says S1 and S2 were found to have active warrants for their arrest after identifying themselves. So your warrant for your arrest wasn't for this unauthorized use of a vehicle, it was for something else. And she had a warrant for her arrest. And who is that sitting with her? Is that your mom or her mom? That's your mom? All right, your mom should want better for you. And let me explain why you should want better for him. And I'm sure you do, but he's not listening. Suspect 2, that's her, started crying and getting nervous. I then read suspect 2 her Miranda warning, and suspect 2 stated the listed narcotics and money in the stolen vehicle were hers. Suspect 2 narcotics later found in her purse by her feet area on the front seat floorboard after a search of the vehicle was conducted. That's why you can't have contact with her. So what they found in the vehicle that she's claiming, 3.7 grams field tested positive for cocaine. Now, normally when the officers are weighing stuff out in the field, you really can't trust that weight.
No.
Sometimes it turns out to be less than a gram, but they do a presumptive field test of it. So presumptively it's positive for cocaine. Presumptively it's 3.7 grams. They found 5 THC vape pens at 3 grams each, multiple baggies of green leafy substance from my training and police experience, which I know to be marijuana. And that was 8.85 ounces in her purse. Suspect 1 was also read his Miranda warnings and refused to say anything about the narcotics or the listed currency in S2's possession. Now, based upon that, I don't know why she want to be with you, because if you're my man, you should be like, you know what, I'm going to take this case for her because that's my woman and I don't want to see any harm come to her. But you were just like, I'm not saying anything. She's claiming it as her own. So you guys should not be together. That's why. And I guarantee you, your mom does not want you with her because you two are not good together. And y'all just going to continue to pick up more cases. So that's a no. And that's why I have a no contact with her. Do you want to get your life together?
She's the mother of my kid.
You all can do that through a third party. I'm sure, Mom, will you be willing to transport children so he doesn't have contact with her? Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Jill.
Mm-hmm.
And, I can try to do third party yet.
Yeah, so your mom can do third party. You all should not be together. And let me just tell you, if your child, your mom is saying your child is in NICU, if that baby is in NICU because of what mom has been ingesting or whatever, CPS is going to be involved. And let me just tell you what CPS normally does. If one of you all don't get your life together, your children are going to end up going to somebody else. Either you're going to step up to the plate or she's going to step up to the plate. And you're at that point in your life where your children should be more important to you than a woman. That's where we are. So Victoria Love Sanchez Aguirre, you're not to have contact with her. Here you are. Thank you, Mom.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
You're welcome.
I do.
Sorry.
But she was born in the previous, she came early.
Okay.
But yeah.
All right, and then, he can still go to the hospital to see her, but they need to be on different shifts.
Yeah, no, but she's not allowed to see the baby right now.
All right, see, that's what I mean. That's why, see, you see what I'm saying?
I get you.
All right,
At 4 point, I know.
all right, thank you so much. They'll probably release him from jail at like midnight or 1 a.m.
They don't stay there no longer, I'm fine.
All right, thank you.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Oh, thank you. You're so welcome. I do what I can.
It's okay. They-
Yes. This is what we talked about this morning. All right, Norma, this case should be taken off the docket, this one.
Like that guy before that just acted like he didn't want to take the plea.
Mhm.
It's been a couple of weeks. He's chewing on Mr. Hardy. I think.
Aw. Hey, sometimes it happens and you just have to say. All right, whenever you all are ready, just let me.
That's your first favorite.
All right. All right, so let me put this in the system.
Thank you, Honor.
You're welcome. Have a good one.
You too.
All right, so Miss Silva.
Yeah, they're calling and I can't do it.
Aw. All right, so.
So this was the document that came.
Mhm. Yes, so I have this. So what we're doing is we're going to recall her case and we're going to call it for April 29th. And here we go. And then if she regains her competency from talking to her, because I was explaining things to her, she may be competent. I'm not sure. But once she's at the jail for a while, my understanding, she's waiting for transfer to the state hospital. So if you talk to her and you think she's regained competency, you can just ask for another competency evaluation.
Okay.
But we're going to bring her back on April 29th. And Miss Silva, it's not going to show up in the system that you're coming back on April 29th.
That is your vote.
It's not going to show up in the system. We know it and we'll have you brought over. The reason why we don't put it in the system is if they come to pick you up for the state hospital and they see you have a court date scheduled with us, they're not going to take you.
Okay.
So just know that we know and your attorney knows and he's put it in his calendar that you're to come back on April 29th, okay?
Okay.
All right, thank you so much.
Oh, that's
Yes.
good. I can't get on with police or I can't
No,
go to CPS or something.
no, you can't. I'm sorry. No, you can't.
Like some kind of CPS custody.
No, I'm not in charge of CPS, but what you'll have to do is you'll have to speak to your attorney if there's something else you want.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. All right, do we have anyone else?
Yes, Your Honor, we're printing up paperwork for Ms. Dawson.
Okay, all right, thank you.
CTV is done. Cheers.
All right, we're ready on your client. If you come up, please. Court is calling 2023 CR 10226 State versus Frederica Simone Nelson. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Recommend for the state of Texas.
Defense.
Branch party for the defendant?
And are you Ms. Nelson?
Yes.
Counsel, have you received all discovery? Did you review it with your client?
Yes, Your Honor.
Court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. Ms. Nelson, did you review the application for deferred adjudication with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it?
Yes.
Did you review the true bill of indictment with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes.
Counsel, do you waive the reading of the indictment?
Yes, Your Honor.
State, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented?
Yes, Your Honor.
Ms. Nelson, did you review the admonishments with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes.
Did you understand you're charged with injury to a child or elderly disabled with bodily injury? That's a third-degree felony. Range of punishment is anywhere from 2 to 10 years in prison and up to $10,000 fine. Did you understand?
Yes.
If you have a plea bargain agreement with the state, the court does not have to follow your agreement. If for any reason the court does not follow your agreement and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you, and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand?
Yes.
Did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses? The state will call in the right to remain silent.
Yes.
Did you understand by entering this plea, you were giving up those rights?
Yes.
And did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea in this case?
Yes.
Counsel, is there an application in this case for deferred adjudication or no?
Yes, Judge.
All right, so are you all opposed to deferred or silent on deferred? Because it's not in the plea paperwork. Is there an application for deferred on this
There
case?
should not be, Your Honor. The plea agreement is for 4 years prison to be probated for however long the court.
Judge, I'm sorry, I'm gonna have to confer with my client.
Sure. All right. All right, Norma, on April Peras, when is that coming back for jury trial? Okay.
He didn't understand that we were asking for adjudication.
Yeah, he's out ill. I don't know.
Red spots everywhere.
It says it takes 10 to 15 days.
Are you thinking you have measles?
Were you vaccinated as a child?
Judge, as many people that we deal with in here, we don't know.
We don't know.
They're saying that it's almost all of them are people that have never been vaccinated. If you were vaccinated as a child, you probably were.
Man, I don't remember when that happened.
Ma'am, you should remember that.
Yeah.
I was a child, a military brat, I know I was vaccinated.
Yeah.
So I was
Being vaccinated, I remember.
Yeah, oh,
I got so many shots, I can't even.
It is getting late in the day.
Yeah. Here's this.
I'm vaccinated.
But I didn't take that other vaccine. I think that's why women Yama is messed up right now with the blood clot.
Judge, I'm sorry.
Yes.
We have, I just mucked up on the deferred.
Okay. So does she want to apply for deferred or not?
No, Judge, no, the agreement is straight probation.
All right. All right, counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you believe she has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against her?
I do, Judge.
Do you believe she's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
Yes.
Ms. Nelson, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter this plea?
No.
Anyone promised you anything other than the plea?
No.
Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived her right to jury trial. Did you review the plea bargain page with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes.
According to the plea, punishments be assessed at 4 years in the prison. There's a $1,500 fine. State recommends community supervision. There is no application for deferred adjudication, and there's to be no contact with the complainant. Did you understand that to be the plea?
Yes.
Defense, is that the plea?
It is, Your Honor.
State, is that the plea?
It is, Your Honor.
Did you review the waiver of appeal paragraph with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes.
And did you sign it in both places?
Yes.
Did you understand by signing that you're waiving your right to appeal? The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand?
Yes.
Counsel, have there been any such motions?
No, Judge.
And then that one can go away. Outside the agreement, the state is recommending that your community supervision be for a term of 4 years. There be 80 hours of community service restitution, anger management, MRT, TAP evaluation, the follow all recommendations. Did you understand those are recommendations from the state and the court does not have to follow those recommendations?
Yes, ma'am.
Then to the offenses charged, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest? State, any evidence?
Yes, Your Honor, this time state offers an evidence to exhibit one of all evidence.
Objection.
All right, did you review the waiver and consent to stipulations with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes.
Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call and the right to remain silent? Did you understand that today the state will be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports? But most importantly, there will be no live testimony. Did you understand?
Yes.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Court will accept into evidence states exhibits 1 and attachments, and the court will review the same. And state, have you had any contact with the complainant? All right, thank you. And you may be excused. All right, after reviewing states exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty and the court will find you guilty. Is there anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
No, Judge. I don't think so.
All right, so why are you doing this?
When I wanted Emiliana to get down, instead of me pulling her and putting her down like the way I did, I could have did other ways. I could have either played the game with her. We could have
No, that's not what it says. What you're telling me is not what's in this police report. What it says is this child came home from this early learning center. O2 stated she picked victim up from the listed location yesterday at approximately 17:30 hours and found victim crying. O2 stated that victim told her that suspect that you made her cry. O2 stated that she confronted the suspect about the incident and the suspect denied anything happening. O2 stated that she then advised suspect's supervisor of the incident and requested that the video surveillance of the location be checked. O1 stated that the video surveillance was checked this morning and the video showed S1 throwing V1 to the ground. I then witnessed the video that showed S1 sitting on the ground, attempting to clean a cabinet, and the victim was standing in front of her. Suspect then can be seen throwing the victim aggressively to her side and the victim hitting the ground. O1 stated that the suspect was confronted this morning and asked about the incident. O1 stated that S1 told her that she attempted to move the victim by her arm. O1 stated that suspect was immediately terminated after viewing the surveillance. So that's what they say happened. There wasn't I'm trying to stop her from falling. No, it's saying that you threw a child to the ground. And how old is this child?
She was 3.
All right, who throws a 3-year-old to the ground?
So she was on the cabinet. and I wanted her to get down. So I grabbed her and I put her down.
No, they said you threw her to the
That's what I'm
ground.
saying. I didn't throw her down. I took her by her arms and I landed her down. And then I got over her and I told her to get up.
Now,
That's
where's
what
the
That's what
video?
I'm saying.
Does anybody want to offer the video into evidence? Does anybody have the video?
Because when the CPS lady,
All right, just one second. We're gonna see the video. I always say, show me the video if you have the video. Is there any objection to the court reviewing the video?
No objection, Judge.
All right, let's see the video.
Might have it on this computer.
Okay.
Oh, thank you. Also turned off.
Oh, you haven't loaded up? Okay. Still turning. Okay. Then let me step down and see the video. And defense, you have no objection to the court reviewing the video?
No, Your Honor, I don't.
Did you get the, drawing? Oh, yeah. He's here to pick up the driver I gave you. I'm okay. Awesome, how's it going? Good to see you too. All right, here we go.
All right, thank you so much. All right, we're back on the record. All right, the court has reviewed video. Is there anything else you wish to have for your client?
No.
All right, do you have any children?
yes,
And what are their ages?
my kids are 26,
Mhm.
24, 21, and 19.
All right, do you have any grandchildren?
6,
And what are their ages?
7, 8, 4-month-old, 3-year-old, and 1-year-old.
All right, and the complainant in this case, how old was the complainant approximately?
3-ish.
All right, so let me ask you this. Do you love your grandchildren? What would you think if somebody did what you did to your 3-year-old granddaughter? Now, I mean, you're saying, yes, I understand, but what do you understand?
But it should have never happened.
And from watching that video,
I had no right.
no right. And from watching that video, what you're telling me is not the same that's in the police report. What's in the police report matches what's in that video. All right, anything else?
Nothing further, Judge.
Court is going, yes?
Go ahead, Your Honor.
Court is going to sentence you to 4 years in the prison, suspended and probated for 4 years. There's going to be 90 days in the Bexar County Jail as a condition of probation that starts now. There's a $1,500 fine, time and money to run concurrent. There's to be 100 hours of community service restitution. I'm going to order parenting classes. And I'll deduct 50 once that's completed. And another 50 will be deducted upon completion of anger management classes, and I'm ordering anger management. There's going to be regular reporting by Zoom or in person, regular random UAs, proof of employment within 30 days of release. There's to be no employment as a home health care provider or in the healthcare field or with minors. So you're not allowed to work as a daycare operator. You're not allowed to babysit. You're not allowed to do any of that. And there's to be no contact with the complainant. And there's to be TAP evaluations and follow TAP recommendations. And that can be done in custody of the TAP evaluation. And as far as the MRT, I don't think this is really an MRT issue as opposed to an anger issue. And she just shouldn't be working with children. It appears that people are just hiring anybody. Hey, we have a daycare. You want to work here? Oh, yeah, sure. Nobody does any follow-up. Nobody does a psychological. They don't do background checks. They're just letting anybody watch vulnerable people, which I don't understand. Probation, is there anything else she needs? All right, field visits 1 time per month until further notice. And I'm doing that because you are not allowed to babysit children. Do you understand?
Yes.
And there's to be no unsupervised contact with minors. And that includes your grandchildren. Anything else, probation? Is there anything else that you need from the court to be successful?
Mm. Okay, so I need some mental health.
All right,
I was diagnosed with severe depression with psychosis episode.
okay. We'll do a MIC evaluation in custody and follow recommendations. And, you know, based upon that, that's another reason if you're having those episodes and you're not on medication for it, that's another reason why they should not have had you working at a daycare. But again, people are just letting anybody look after children. I did not understand that. Did you review the document entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal with your attorney?
Yes.
Did you understand it and sign it?
Yes.
All right, because it's a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Because this is a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question over what a weapon or ammunition is, you'll need to speak to an attorney. Do you understand?
Yes.
All right, and then we can go off the record in this court to be successful. Communication is key. So you're gonna have to work on your anger issues and not, if you see yourself getting angry, you need to count to 10, walk away. You understand?
Yes.
All right, good luck to you.
The mother of the child did want to make it the victim in that statement, but she was not able to. She did send a short letter to our advocate, so we would just ask permission to read that.
Sure.
Okay,
All right, thank you.
Does she need to read it?
there's no. Did you read it? Yeah. Okay, this is a statement on behalf of the mother. She said, "I trusted you with my daughter and you hurt her. A 3-year-old helpless child, you threw her to the floor like a piece of trash. How can someone be so bothered by a child that you choose to hurt them? I will never understand. You will have to live with this the rest of your life, and the plea you're being offered is not half of what you deserve. All these years I left it in God's hands to deal with you, and it's not over. I assure you that, Frederica. I know my daughter wasn't the first or the last. She's just the one who stood up and said something." Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. And so the record can be clear. I think I said time and money run concurrent on the fees, but actually the $1,500 is probated.
Very good.
All right, thank you.
Never excused.
Yes, you may be excused.
Thanks so much.
You're
Have a
welcome.
Wonderful evening.
All right, you too.
The state be excused, Your Honor?
Yes.
Thank you, Your Honor. Have a good weekend.
All right, thank you. You